Strike a Chord, music chit-chat with your host, Valentino Kikowski. Welcome to the Strike a Chord Podcast, and today we have Riki Platt with us. Riki is a singer-songwriter.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
a pretty good guitarist and an amazing singer as well.
Oh, thank you.
A pleasure to have you on, Riki.
Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Great to be here.
Yeah, let's get down to it. What's the inspiration
Let's do
between your music and yourself? Where's the connection? Because I heard the Medicated Love album and sounds quite awesome. I really liked it. So I just wanted to know where all the inspiration came from, and did you put it all into this album?
The inspiration. So I started writing my own songs late 2017 because
Okay.
I've always been a drummer.
Oh, really?
For most of my life.
Jeez.
I knew how to play a little bit of guitar. I knew I could sing a little bit, but I didn't have the confidence.
Okay.
So I started doing more and more of that, and then I just started to try and write my own songs.
Awesome.
So lyrics and melodies.
And how did you find when you started writing lyrics? What was one of the challenges? What was?
I think just trying to not write anything too cliche.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
And then also sort of, you write personal things, but how personal are you going to go? And the balance between that. How vague do you want to be? How transparent do you want to be about things? So the inspiration, I think, just through just struggles in life. Whether it's how you're feeling or relationships and
As you do.
yeah,
As you do.
yeah.
With your group Medicated Love, it's a 3-piece, but you get quite a big sound out of the 3-piece, and the recording, it's quite a big sound. How did you manage that sound?
I think with layering guitars.
That's the obvious one, but even with layering, it's obvious. But there's something else to that. The way you guys play and the way you guys, there's something there. You know?
Well, that's good. That's what I want.
Yeah,
that's what we all want.
Yeah, of course.
Being the only three of us. I guess my guitar style. I can't really play that much lead guitar for a start, so it's mostly just big chords.
Yeah, capo on,
fill it out. Yeah. And I think the others, Matt on bass is really good at working around me and filling it out.
Okay.
Not just following like the root note.
Yep.
He'll do some little.
That's what you want from a bass player.
Yeah.
That's what you want from a bass player, definitely. When did the band start? How long ago?
So firstly, it was just me writing my own songs just under my own name. So I started doing that in end of 2017,
Okay.
I think. Playing just solo acoustic shows around Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then in 2018, middle to end of 2018 is when the band actually got together.
Okay. And that clip, that video clip, when was that's quite an awesome clip.
The small talk one.
The small talk one. Yeah.
The lockdown.
Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
It
was just sticking phones on the walls and.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
just
awesome.
all self because we were all in.
Yeah, we
lockdown.
couldn't have been any other way, but it turned out really well.
Yeah, we just had this idea, and it was like, well, even if it's going to be not that great, let's just give it a go and see what happens. And so we got all the footage ourselves, just on our phones. And then I gave the footage to a mate of mine, Michael, who is a film editor. So he put it all together for us.
It's always good to know someone like that.
Yeah.
Always good to know someone like that.
Yeah.
I suppose with your album out and everything like that, what was, and this is a question that probably we all want to know the answer to, what was the structure or the structure of the marketing? What did you do to actually get it up on Spotify? What did you do to actually get it, to get it distributed. What was that process like? What was that, and was it, was it a challenging process? Because I've heard many different stories around distros and stuff like that,
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I just found one of the many companies that help you distribute it for free.
Yep.
Oh, not for free. There's always a fee
Of course.
involved. And just trying to find one that suited us.
Because there's a few out there. There's like DistroKid,
There is.
CD Baby,
I
there's
think we used
TuneCall.
GyroStream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, GyroStream, yeah.
Yeah, all good so far. They actually, because you can get packages through them as well that help you with promotion and things.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think we
they
applied
throw
for
in-
one, but we didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
So, just all our own promo really.
And that's the hardest, really.
It is.
It's really hard. It's really hard to get onto those playlists, and
Yeah.
you can go down a rabbit hole and get really caught up in it, and it's not easy, and it's quite stressful,
It is. And I don't think a lot of people in bands are set up to know a lot about that kind of that
I think
stuff.
you're right.
So
I
that's
think
where
you're
the exterior people come in
Yeah.
to sort of help people navigate that.
If you've got that leisure, of having those people. Some people are just starting out and they don't know what to do.
No.
And that's that's a problem, because sometimes you get some really good musicians come use like yourselves and stuff like that, and if you don't have any guidance and going anywhere and what to do, Spotify, how do I get into that?
Yeah.
Go straight
exactly.
to YouTube and you figure out and stuff like that. But it's different when you talk to a person who has actually done it.
Yeah.
Or it's a personal thing that someone.
And it's different these days with, like you said, playlists and things like
Yeah.
that. Like it's a different world.
It's a totally different world, and it's a world that you need to be very cautious of as well, very careful
Yeah.
with. A lot of these marketing companies, putting you on playlists and things like that just for a certain time, and then all of a sudden,
Pay to play.
yeah,
Yeah.
pay to play and everything like that. It can be very financially, daunting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of bands have to, depending on how serious they are, have to
Yep.
set aside a budget
Definitely.
of how much do you want to spend on,
On your
promotion.
yeah.
Where do we spend it? It's mostly everything's digital now, so it's all just social media and
And let's face it, you don't get much back from all those plays, right? But the thing that you do want to get back is the live gigging, right?
yeah.
That's what
Yep.
you're doing, is so you can have something to present to get more live
Yeah.
gigs.
Yeah.
And is that what the intention is with Medicated Love, to get that recording
Yeah.
out and get live gigs so you can go out there and play, yeah?
Yeah. So you can obviously reach more people if you're
Mm.
unknown on like the digital level,
Yep.
and then hopefully that will bring people out in physical form to a gig.
Yeah, and you start creating that community, start creating that
Yeah.
following.
There is that old school way of, just get out there and play gigs.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do that and there's a couple of people there,
Yeah.
so
We've all done those gigs, and
yeah.
and we're still doing some of them,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
I think
challenging.
if you can try and find them digitally, because everyone's on their phone.
Yep.
Then hopefully that brings them out to a gig.
When you do a gig, whether it's with the band or your solo gigs, do you have anything on stage to say, all right, this is my album, go and buy it? Do you do anything, or do you just relay it to the audience?
Yeah, no, we don't
Okay.
currently.
All right.
Something on display.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah. Because I've been thinking about this, and this is probably what I'm going to do for myself as well. Because
Yeah.
I've got I'm working on my album at the moment. I'm hoping for it to be released by the end of the year. And I was thinking
cool,
about
yeah.
where, when we do play, or when I do play it, I was thinking maybe, put a, like a, how you get those things, those banners
Yeah.
with a QR code.
Yeah.
People can bang
Yeah.
in the QR code
a
it
good
and go
idea.
straight to a landing page of where your music is to buy.
Yeah.
Or-
I actually did an acoustic show not long ago at the Bergie Seltzer on Sydney Road.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I was like, I need something. So I put I got my partner just to print out this A4 bit of paper that I stuck on the microphone stand.
Yep.
That just had the band name,
The
and
links.
and the
Gotta have
Instagram
something.
handle and things like that.
You gotta have something. You gotta have something. Yeah. But
Just so people can see it.
yeah, of course. And that's really vital. I think when you're doing gigs, it's really vital that you get that engagement. So people come and
Yeah.
follow you as much as they can. Sometimes they can't follow you physically, so they might as well have your music and listen to it.
Yeah. And
Um,
also if they miss you saying what the band name is or your name.
Yeah, they've got it right there.
Yeah.
And sometimes people feel uncomfortable coming up to you and saying, "Oh," and then
Yeah,
you feel
exactly.
uncomfortable saying, "Oh, this is my website. This is
Yeah.
always a self promotion." I was even till this day, I feel. Like I'm doing something that's not supposed to be done. Like when you promote yourself,
Don't like the self promo.
Yeah.
Just feel a bit weird.
You feel a bit weird.
Yeah.
But that's another way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the idea from a couple of friends of ours who do a lot of busking and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And they always have their band name right in front. I think they just started off with a sheet of cardboard or something.
Either on the guitar case or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they've moved up to I think they've got
table.
a block of wood with a nice logo on it.
A block of wood.
So-
Well, you got to do what you got to do, man. You just
Yeah.
got to do what you got to do. Your the album. Where'd you record it?
So we did that with a friend of mine, Greg, who has a little studio in Port Melbourne.
Okay.
Just a small little studio, but he has good gear and knows what he's doing.
And he mastered it, mastered it, or you
Did it all. Yeah.
That's great. Great.
Yeah.
good sound.
Yeah.
Really good sound.
Yeah.
It was you think that you're on a in some sort of studio with a massive console in front of you. That's the sort of like sound that I heard,
Yeah. Oh, that's
know?
good. Yeah.
which is
we
well
want,
done.
like, a big polished kind of sound.
Yeah, it is. It's like
Um,
it's a really good sound. You have any plans for any new music or anything?
Yes. So we're writing the next release, which will be an EP. It's going to be a bit more interesting. It's a concept EP. So
All right.
I've
Let us know a bit more info, concepts. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, I don't even know if I know what it means. But it's basically just going to be a fictional story,
Ah, okay.
and it will go throughout the EP. And so, yeah, I won't give too much away, or I won't go into it too much because it's a bit of a long story.
Yeah, no,
But
fair enough.
I think it's an easier way to write when you're,
Okay.
got a bit of writer's block, or you're
Yep.
not sure.
Okay.
So I found it easier in that regard. So we're going to start recording in late November.
Oh, that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. It's an
Yeah.
interesting approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told the idea to the boys and they were keen on it. So
Does it give
let's
you?
do it.
Yeah. Does it? Because writing music always can be a stressful thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you find with this approach that it's less stressful?
Yeah.
Like
I think so.
less like you've got more to work with, and the outcome is probably easier to get to.
Yeah. So it's not a far out story. It's something that people can still relate to. with
Okay.
relationships and things like that.
Yep.
But it is easier because I don't have to draw on just my experience. There might be little hints of that in there because I'm trying to pretend that it's my experience.
Yep.
But I feel like it's a little bit easier.
And when you
Not-
perform, you got to make sure that you are in that,
Yeah.
realm.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how it's going to translate to people, whether or not, I was thinking, do I have to explain to every person the story? Or some people might not even listen to the lyrics that much. Or some people might be like, hey, what's going on with this? And then I'll be like, oh, well.
You only answer the ones that
it's a
question
story.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're right with some people not listening to the lyrics. I've always been a person who listens to the music. The lyrics
Come second
come
kind of thing.
second. It was all about melody. I feel the
Yeah.
emotions through melody.
Yeah.
You know, you know the sounds of, this is a bit dark, or this is a bit,
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Whereas some people actually listen to the lyrics and they know the lyrics off by heart, and I
Yeah.
commend those people. I really do, because
Yeah, I'm not like that either.
crap with it. I'm crap with lyrics. You know?
Yeah.
Writing, remembering,
Yeah.
but melodies, yep, no problem.
Yeah. Some people intently on the lyrics.
Mm.
And they're like, well, what's it about?
Yeah, they want to hear that story. They want to what's going on, in
Yeah.
this song. It's like a little journey,
Yeah.
for some people, and they want to know what happens in the end and everything. So,
Yeah, no, I'm more like you for
Yeah.
sure. The
More melody.
and
so
yeah.
I suppose you have a melody in your head and then you write lyrics too, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, melody first. I mean, what was helpful was this: is I know that track 1's going to be about this, track 2 is going to be about that.
Okay.
But yeah, try and get a melody first, and then fit it in.
Yeah.
Oh, and then write the lyrics around that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably easier if you're a melody person first.
Yeah, because some people write a bunch of songs lyrics first.
Yep.
And then they try and fit it into a song or something.
Yeah, and I've had people give me lyrics,
And say make it a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy. Sometimes it's like fitting, a square shape into a round hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's definitely challenging. And I think you have to know your approach, and the approaches change, I think, with every song or every lyric. You listen,
Yeah.
you read the lyric and you think, oh, okay, what's my approach? How do I start?
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like takes its own journey, But that start is very hard.
It is. Yeah.
The start is very hard. That's what I find.
When you don't have any momentum, you just have to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah. And the only inspiration you have are those lyrics.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all a great experience, It's all that journey, and whether the outcome is what you thought or what the other lyricists thought, it might not be the same. But I think the journey is very important,
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
the other thing I wanted to ask you, your voice, you hit those high notes. You've got a really high range. Training
give
for
it a
it? You give it a good crack, yeah?
Yeah, I had singing lessons a while back, and then I tried picking them up again in 2020, I think. I go in and out of them.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't always hit them, but yeah.
I've seen some of your live footage though.
Yeah.
You're hitting them.
Yeah.
You're really hitting them. It's
hopefully.
like, is that, and in a live experience as well, it's hard sometimes, especially with the crowd, when you're fighting your own demons in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you were smashing it out, and I really liked it because I heard it on the actual album, but then I saw you doing the guitar and on your own, and it's out there. On one of them, you didn't even have a mic; you were just smashing it.
Yeah,
That was awesome, and I thought, man, he's hitting those, and it's right on. So well done, great
thank
effort.
you.
Like it was, it's different on the recording. You can have a few takes, but on the live, you only have that one shot.
Yeah. I understand you can get in your head. Because sometimes if I can psych myself up if I know there's a big note coming up and I start thinking about it 30 seconds before or something, then when it comes up, I might not do it properly.
Yeah.
But if I just try and go with the flow and
just there.
I mean, you have to think about it a little bit, but
Oh, of course you do.
you can get in your own head.
Yeah, and that's when things break.
Psych yourself out.
That's
I
when
know.
things break.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised when I heard it. It was great stuff.
Oh,
Do you have any exercise or anything that you do to keep at that every day? Do you sing every day, or do you?
No, I don't. I wish I had the time to.
Like all of us.
Yeah. I do a few exercises that my past singing teacher gave me.
Okay.
Some straw exercises.
Yep.
Because I'd have this problem of trying to get the big notes and then sort of straining it. And then the next day I wouldn't be able to do it again.
Yeah.
So she was helping me try and sing loud, high notes, but at a softer volume if I can.
Okay.
To try and save the vocal cords bit.
And using your diaphragm from
Yeah.
here, and it's a few different techniques. There's the talking technique as well, and there's a lot of techniques out there. It's just finding the one that's suitable for you, you know?
Yeah. So that's
And-
trying to find endurance.
Endurance, that's
But
right.
I do try and warm up a bit.
Do you find that always the venues, different venues have different ambiences, different, you know? But do you find that if your sound isn't right on stage and it gets into your head where the sound's not right and you think, oh, shit, you know, am I going to be able to get that thing? And you find yourself struggling with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the vocals are very low or something, like I can't
Yeah, or
hear 'em
not
properly,
right, or something's not right, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's the you know, the feel isn't there, or that something's not out of the monitor's not coming right, or maybe it's too powerful and you can't really go at it, you know?
Yeah.
Do you find that happens often?
Not too often, thankfully
Okay.
enough. I've had some good stage sounds in our time as a band, I think. One thing that will always throw me off is just my guitar playing and trying to swap pedals and stuff and
Good
sing
old
at the
pedals.
same time.
Yeah. The coordination.
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 But yeah, I mean, I know the feeling of if my vocals don't sound that great on stage, then it just throws me off.
Yeah, and that's
And it's
with me the same. I don't sing, but when I play, and if I play and it's not, especially using an acoustic guitar, sometimes, you know, it can have its variations, you know. But yeah, sometimes if it's not right, and you don't play to your to the full extent, to your full ability, or you don't sing to your full ability, you know. And it's very, very important. That's why Mr. Roland there, he makes sure that everything's right. Our sound guy.
Tip top.
Yeah.
It's really important. Yeah, because it'll just throw you off if it's not.
Yeah, definitely. When did you start playing drums?
I started really early in primary school, year 5, year 6.
Okay.
Yeah, and my parents didn't know if I was serious about it, so they didn't get me a drum kit straight away.
Yeah.
I was just hitting shoe boxes and
Pots and pans.
things like that. Yeah, and then I finally got one. So yeah, I played in various bands over the years. I still do every now and then, but not as much as, you know, guitar and singing.
Yep.
Um,
What were your influences in drumming wise? What was the genre, or what was the caliber of influence? What was who were they? What were they? What sort of music?
it was a lot of punk rock
Okay.
music.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother got me into that at an early age, so a lot of
High
fast,
energy as well. Energy.
high energy, fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And what made you pick up the guitar? Like from drum, if you had like quite decent work, you were drumming with people. What made you pick up the guitar, saying, "All right, now you know what, I'm going to transition into this a little bit"?
So my brother played guitar growing up, so there was always a guitar in the house, and my dad had a couple of acoustics as well.
Yep.
So I probably started playing guitar before I played drums.
Okay. Because it was in the house, right?
Yeah.
It was there.
And my brother would have taught me a bit. So I've always known just like basic chords and all
Your
that.
power chords and your...
Yeah. And then I've always had one lying around, even when I moved out, just an acoustic or, you know.
Oh, you got to have a guitar everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Right?
But I've maintained I'm just better at drums than guitar. I'm just way more confident.
You're more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over these last few years, I've really just been trying to practice more guitar.
So do you find that in your band, and probably in your current band, when something doesn't go right on the drums, you go, "All right, let me show you." Do you actually do that? You jump on, let me show you how it's done. Do you actually do that?
No, I wouldn't do that to him. I wouldn't do that to him. If there's something in my head I think I've only actually done it once. If there's something in my head but I can't explain it, then I'll jump on
Yeah.
and be like, oh, well, this is what I think.
Yeah. That's a good thing because you actually get to arrange stuff in your head.
Yeah.
You know, you actually know what it sort of like sounds like. And
Yeah.
if it's not going that path, you can actually, you know, say, all right, let me jump on. I'll just show you.
Yeah.
And then you take it from there. It's just
Yeah.
on that path, that you know, the right path.
Yeah, I always have a beat in my head
Always.
straight away.
Yeah.
Oh, a rough idea.
Yeah. And that is actually the fundamental, right? The beat. You know, that's
Yeah.
where it starts. That's where everything starts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I find that I've always got a melody instead of a beat. And
So
then
melody first.
yeah, melody first. Always melody first. Always something first, and then what are we going to put this? What are we going to put it to? What sort of beat or what sort of?
So do you
time
ever have an
signature?
idea of that, or do you
No, of the melody
the beat?
The beat. Not when I. It really depends. Majority, no. I'll play something,
Yeah.
and I think let me see where this fits.
Yeah.
Whether it fits in you know, in a straight 4
Mm-hmm.
or in a 6/8 or in a see
Yeah.
what sort of swing it
What's
is.
going to complement it?
Yeah, what's going to complement it? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you think of things and you think, oh, I should record it because I'll forget it, and then you play it and you think, oh, okay, maybe it doesn't go with this, or maybe it's just crap from from the get go, and then you don't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's everyone's got a different way of doing it. But you've
Yeah.
always you got a drummer in here, so you've always got the beat. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, definitely. I think it might come around as soon as I start playing the new song. I'll sort of have an idea. I
Yeah.
think in my head.
Well, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Because it you've actually started.
Yeah.
That start
Yeah.
is an easy start. You know.
Yeah.
You're off the blocks. You know. You're in. You know.
Yeah.
And then whatever comes through. You know.
Yeah. I bring it to the others and they have their changes and
Yeah.
add their flavor to it.
And that's always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about playing in a band. Everyone
Yeah.
brings their flavor. Everyone brings their little nuances, their style, and it might not work for some things, but it might work in other things,
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you find that happening in a live experience as well?
Like a
Like a live gig, because recording is different.
yeah.
Live gigging is different, where you might change something.
a
live gig?
Yeah. I think we all stick to script.
Yeah,
pretty
you
well.
do? Okay.
I might. The thing that changes most is I might sing something differently.
Okay. As in different within the same melody or something left field?
Yeah, or when you sit with songs for a while, then you might start singing bits differently.
Yeah, just to refresh it.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I might be like, I went too hard on this in the recording, but live I might just tame this bit down a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
That's a good thing about having a recording. You got a reference point,
yeah,
and then when
Yeah.
you want to play it live, we'll change it when we play it live. A lot of bands do it.
yeah,
Rarely do you see a band play everything as they are on the recording,
yeah,
exactly the same sound, same thing, same everything. It might be the same structure, but the
Mhm.
sound always changes, something
Yeah.
changes, and that's the beauty of playing.
I was about to
playing
say
live.
that's why it's good to go to live shows.
Exactly, and
and
that's
hear
why
it a bit
people should be
differently.
going to live shows and more live music.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're here for, and that's what we're trying to
Yeah,
help with, and help the musicians as much as we can. Your approach with your album and with your previous album and your arrangement, are you gonna have that same sort of sound, that same in the next album, that the same group, the same sort of sound, or are you gonna put some different instruments in, or put some different effects in, or maybe keys or something? I don't know.
yeah. I think it's going to be fairly similar, although I think the music, it's in the same sounding genre,
Okay.
I guess, but it's hopefully the music will be better than the last one.
Yep. Well, that's
as
all.
the songwriting
Yeah,
develops.
exactly, and that's what you want, really.
Yeah. A bit more light and shade, maybe. Same instruments, all still sound the same. Definitely want to put some keys in there. We're going to put some keys on one of the songs on the last release, but I think we ran out of time or nothing happened. We just forgot about it.
Yeah.
So I do have a little MIDI synth that my bass players give me just to plug in, MIDI keyboard.
Yeah, MIDI keyboard. And then whatever
So
happens,
I can
whatever you sound you
maybe
put,
find some
Oh, of course, I'm sure you'll find.
key bits. Yeah.
It's really good popping in some keys with some songs. Probably not every song, but just just to break it up a little bit. You think, and the listener will say, "Oh, okay, there's something different, something going on."
Yeah.
You know?
I can't really play piano, but I can maybe find the chords.
I'm sure you will. You from the
And-
guitar, you'll
but-
just
Yeah.
you know.
We'll see.
I play keys, and I actually taught myself to play the keys from the guitar. So if you know an instrument, it's half the battle.
Yeah.
So you just sort of like transfer this. Oh, this
To
sounds
that.
similar. This sounds similar, and off you go. You know.
I'm envious of people that just
Oh, so I'm not at that point. I'm not, but I can arrange and play on the keys,
That's
and
awesome.
it's a different it's a different thing arranging songs on keys than it is on guitar.
yeah. Yeah.
Totally different. You can actually see what the bass sounds like, or see,
Yeah.
you got this chord there, that chord there. See the blend. With the guitar, you haven't got two pairs of arms, so someone can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different ball game with the keys. That's why a lot of people actually find it easier to arrange and write on
Yeah.
keys.
I hear a lot of people write songs on piano.
Yeah. And when they say, "Oh, it's written for piano," it's like that means that you've got the bass clef, the treble clef, and it's all happening, And it's a great sound, but I think some keys will sound awesome.
Yeah,
in
just
your
some
style.
little
Just a little bit
little
here and
bits
there.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, overall, just bass, guitars, drums, and vocals.
Keeping it simple
Yeah. Yeah.
as much as possible,
That's
which is great,
Yeah.
And that when you listen to that sort of style, especially when you listen to it with headphones, and you can hear every little bit of that, the drums, every little bit of the bass guitar and the guitar. It's from three instruments, you're getting a big sound, and things are happening in your ears,
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
That's the beauty of listening to music, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Although I don't know how many people listen to it like that these days.
We're talking about musicians. I think we're talking about musicians now.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I've got muso friends that, have expensive headphones on, and they're like, "Oh, you should listen to this album with headphones." Like, it's amazing.
I think we get obsessed sometimes with equipment, but the musician will always analyze and overanalyze.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can ever listen to a track the same ever again once you're a musician. I know with myself, talking from experience, when I listen to a track, I can't listen to it like, I'm just going to listen to it and just, I can't. I have to analyze. Oh, the
You're
bass is doing
always
this, the drums doing this, the guitar's doing this, and it's a bit. It gets to me sometimes because I can't actually listen to the song.
Switch it off.
Yeah, I can't switch it off. I just want to listen to the song, But
Yeah.
it's hard,
It is. Yeah.
And then you think, oh, maybe I can use this little thing in one of my things, or
Yeah.
use this sound. Oh, that sounds good, and you're ignoring the rest of the song.
Yeah.
That's a problem I have sometimes. But
You can't, yeah. But that's good though, because like you said, if you get inspiration for things you're going to do later on, or
things that you won't do later on.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's sometimes it's hard just to sit there and listen to a song,
it.
and just enjoy it, Any other projects apart from your recording your upcoming album? Maybe do you have any other projects coming up, or do you have any other music things that you're involved in?
No, not really at the moment. Just focusing on finishing up this EP and getting it recorded, finishing up the writing of it.
Yep.
And then I think next year we'll just start getting back into gigging again, because we've only done one this year.
It's been quite hard.
Yeah.
It's been
I
quite
know we
hard.
haven't been in lockdown or anything, but we've just been. It's been good, so we can focus more on writing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the good thing about it. But
then
you still
we'll-
want to get out there and gig.
Yeah.
And
And
just
then once we've got the EP, then we'll might do another film clip or, then other things will come.
Yeah, I think just take it as it comes, and have phases. You've got your recording phase, then you got your marketing phase of that recording,
Yeah.
and then you go, oh well, let's get some live gigs and start promoting them. And then that's a different phase.
Yeah.
The video phase, and sometimes it's an ever revolving thing,
Yeah. But on the side, I'll always play just solo acoustic shows as well. Still.
And that's a good thing, because you kick your own ass really with those acoustic shows. You're there on your own, so you can't blame anyone else for any mistakes,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's good for when the band's not doing anything. I can just get out there and even just play covers as well.
Oh yeah, it's
chuck
fun.
Covers in. And
It's always fun. Always fun.
have-
Always
yeah.
fun. All right, Ricky. Thanks so much for coming to the podcast. It
Thanks
was
for having me.
it was a real pleasure and really good insight.
It's great being here.
Yeah.
Such a great place.
It is a great place. It's
It's amazing.
yeah, we're pretty lucky to have this place and to work with, and thanks to the Yesteryear revival, and it's a great place, especially that we've got a platform for any band to come in and do video recordings and everything like that.
Yeah.
In a live setting, in a controlled live setting, but
Yeah.
you get you want to play live, and you want to portray how you are live. This is the place to do it at, So, and it's a great place, and we've got a great sound engineer. We've got some video guys and some pro video guys that help put the video together, and it's a great place. Yeah, hopefully we can have you guys one day in and
Yeah, absolutely.
doing like a live video, and
Yeah,
you know,
that'd be awesome.
yeah, I reckon you guys will smash it here. I think you guys will do really well.
Will the neighbours complain or?
No, because we only have from 5 to 10 to work.
Oh, that's all right.
Which is all right. Yeah, 5 hours is all right.
Yeah,
Then
plenty of
you
time.
know, it's not a live venue as such, but yeah, we get to blow out all the cobwebs and everything.
Yeah.
In the time specified. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. But look, thanks once again, and we wish you all the very, very best with your next album and your current album
Thank
and the
you.
band as well. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
No worries. And we'll have a bit of a drink.
Yeah.
All the very best, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just wanted to say a big thank you to the people who have supported me on this journey with my podcast, including the Yesteryear Revival, Spot On AV Media, and Cake Eclipse. And thank you so much for all your support. It's meant a great deal to me, and just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone and everyone that's actually listened to the podcast as well, and for everyone's feedback. It's been really great. So thanks from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Hope you enjoyed the Strike a Chord podcast. Be sure to visit valentinoflamenco.com to access more podcast episodes, news, and other projects that I'm currently working on. Thanks for listening and watching.